Hello everybody, welcome to new season, first round of season 16 here at Hungary in Tier 1. Comes tonight and for the season is myself, Clay Mull, as always. Obviously new season, we've got some new drivers here, so OMB Bocky making his debut here in the league. And then a couple of new drivers up in Tier 1. Cavalis Tier 2 winner up into Tier 1. ZX10 back up in Tier 1. Bark and Kane Lowry, but Kane Lowry not here tonight. We are racing here Hungary now, and it is wet. Very wet. Kieran first out on track on a set of inters. Bocky's out as well. He's also on inters. I think everyone will be, to be honest. It's wet. Evening 10:08. We do also this season in Tier 1 and 2 have a couple of drivers racing full time on a Friday night, as well as in Tier 3 on a Sunday night. So Luckman is racing here in Tier 1 on Fridays on his controller, and then racing Sundays in Tier 3 on wheel. He's new to wheel. And I think the rest of the lads are Tier 2, the rest of the lads that are racing Friday and Sundays. Kieran's just coming right final corner now to start his lap, but I did see a message that someone had left the session, so let's see if we can fire another invite. Where's it was? Invite sent. And here we go now, Kieran on that run down to turn 1. Cautious. Obviously first time round it in these conditions, so understandable. Obviously, as well as new drivers, we do have new teams for everyone. We did the driver draw on, I say everyone, not everyone, Harold's in the Alpine again. But no, we did the driver draw on Tuesday night. That was live on our YouTube. If you missed it, it is still there. Where we've picked out, obviously, the teams and drivers for each tier. We run a combined championship for the constructor across all 3 tiers. Kieran's invalidated. I think next is Bocky. Oh, yeah, I agree. He looked... Evening or so. I'm sure you don't mind it being a bit damp. They're just your conditions, aren't they? Luckman to the top 32.7. Oliver coming into the final corner now. He's behind the Red Bull of ZX10. Tenner across the line, 34.6. Oliver, 32.7. 5 thousandths behind Luckman. These conditions were made for you also. Kieran gone again, he has 34.6. Rick 32.5. So Luckman not far off Rick's first time. Just seen a Haas cross the line. That's done. Who's that? Harold? No. Who's the other Alpine? Sammy. Sammy across the line, 33.2. Got Cavalis back on a lap. I think Bark's next, who's no time on the board. Red Bull Riker, is it? Up to the line. Luckman doesn't improve. Bark, what does Bark do? 34.5. Tenor is improving. We're in that final corner now. 6/10 improvement, 34 flat. Got Kieran coming round the final corner again. The 33.3 puts him up to P6. Who was that? Dan jumped up to P6, 33.3, 6 thousandths ahead of Kieran. Cavaliers, what has he got? 32.3. Cavaliers, Tier 2 champion, setting the pace early in Tier 1. Come on, Cavaliers. In that mean green fighting machine that Luckman loves. Oh, Sammy goes top, 32.1. Sammy was in the Haas last season, who lost out on the Constructors to Alpine, and now it looks like he's jumped ship and joined the enemy. Sammy and the Alpine this season, sorry. Aston Martin coming up to the line, that's Glock just starting a lap. Luckman, 31.5, ooh. Patrick Pope says, wow, also, how did you get into Tier 1? Pure pace. Pure pace and raw talent. That is how Osso is here. I mean, if I said a lack of track limits, you'd probably know I was lying. Harold, 31.3. Sammy into the pits, which means Glock is next. And Glock 29.1. Wow. Wow. So I don't know whether track conditions are improving because the lap times have got significantly quicker, but that lap from Glock there being 2 seconds quicker is big. Big. As Bart went P8 then as well, almost 7/10 improvement. Dan improved again as well. Into a 32.6. He was only a few thousandths ahead of Kieran, but now obviously 5 places ahead. Evening, Pink. How are we doing? Kieran up to the line, 32.1, 1.2 second improvement. So I'd say track conditions definitely getting better. I don't think this is just confidence of drivers. As Rick's just started another lap as well. Pink not even left the pitch yet. Oh, there he is, loving life as a champ once again. I'll be honest, I've not even thought twice about it. I were more excited for the constructors. Well, I guess that's the difference between us, Pink, you know, team game and all. I feel sorry for you having Dan and Bacardi this season. Two-second improvement from Rick at Sector 2. So, yeah, track conditions definitely getting better. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Pink. I get it. I understand. I've been there with him. The worst thing is I did win a championship with him in the team, and he won't ever let me forget it. Dan up to P4 there, 30.8. Lutman improved. Oliver improved. Rick a 29.2. Harold 29.7. So yeah, track definitely improving. McLaren and Bocky 31.6. Pink about to start his lap. Who's coming up top line there? Ferrari. That's Anderson starting an out lap. Cavalison in pits. Lutman's just entered the pits. Aston Martin. A Glock who's pitted. Got Bart coming up to the final corner. 1.5 second improvement so far. So 1.8 seconds. Puts in P7. Airways 31.6. Puts in P8. Rick improving again. He'll be into 28s here. 28.3. Dan's pulled into the pits. McLaren of Bocky's gone again. He's improving. 31.2. Pink next. .28.8. P2 for Pink on his first run. Patrick saying legend, old school, and 4 races, no track limits. I think 4 races in his whole CDR career. He might have had 1 track limit, and that's as low as it gets. I don't think he's had races without. Got Tanner going for another lap. And so is Airways. He is improving as well. Almost 9/10 improvement, 30.7. Pops in P7. We are only going to be losing 2 drivers from this Q1 session. The box is invalidated. Also saying he believes he's not even out the pits yet. I think Pink's just got himself ready for a final run. Tenor goes up to P5 with a 29.9. Yeah, Pink's going again. No, he's not. He's on grass. What's he doing? Oh, he's chilling. He's saving it all for the last possible lap. Airways 29.8 up to P5. Sammy, 1.3 second improvement at sector 2. What can he do up the line? 1.9 improvement. Puts in P7, 30.2. Rick into the pits. Happy that he's safe. Lutman's just started a lap. That's an Alpine coming up to the line. That's Harold just starting a lap. Got a Red Bull next. That's Tenor, not improving. No one has actually told me the weather conditions for the race. And Glock's just started a lap behind. Tenor, Pink has just started his last lap now. Williams, Osso's just started a lap. Riker up to P8, 30.6. Dan just started a lap. I'm trying to keep up with where people are. Bark just starting another lap. Oh, Bark. Is he on softs? Oh, no. Bark's the only one on soft tyres. Ooh, interesting. Is it too wet for that? It looks it. Yeah, he's all over the shop. Yeah, it's too wet. Never mind. Sorry, Bark. Nice try. Anderson and Bockett have took the flag. Kieran's took the flag. Luckman up to 5th. Harold round the final corner. 28.3. So Harold is definitely safe. Tanner next. He's got the Aston Martin, a Glock right behind him as well. Glock of 27.7. Pink 28.1. Trying to work out who's who. It's a pain. Osso 30.8. Osso 12 now. Dan jumps up to P7. Oliver to P5. Who was that last one then? V-Carb. Airways up to P5. Sammy round the final corner. P10. Bark on them softs is invalidated. I've lost part of his wing. Come on, Bark, we don't have many wings for the season, mate. They're mine to take, not yours. So it looks like we're losing Bockett and Kieran. Losing Bocky and Kieran, and Glock setting the pace earlier. I'll be back in just a second, lads. And I am back. Who have we got? First out on track is Luckman. Everybody on dry tyres now, Dan on mediums, everyone else out on softs. Also, I'll be honest, mate, you don't really need to know how Q2 works. Just put a lap in and then sit and enjoy Q3. You won't make it that far, mate. So here we go now, Luckman coming up to the final corner. First time on the board in the dry. And it's the 28.7. Brick next. And still nobody's let me know. Oh, there you go. As I say, it pink. Wet race, clear. First 10 laps or so. Ooh, so it starts wet and then dries. Ah, that's interesting. Riker next, across the line, 29.2. Goes P2 two times, so obviously he does. Bark next, I think he's got Tenor just behind him. DRS enabled now. Tenor 27.5. Yeah, sorry, yeah, Tenor 27.5, Bark 29.8. Cavalis 27.2. Harold 30.6. Airways just starting a lap. Lutman invalidated, he's low on fuel, so I'm assuming he's going to come in. Ferrari of Anderson next. $25.5 from Anderson, so track definitely ramping up. Obviously DRS will make a big difference as well. Riker coming in, Tenor coming in. Harold is going again. Sammy's next. Sammy, 23.8. Harold, 24.3. Bark, was it Bark? No, it was also 25.8. Airways, 24.4. Oliver just starting a lap. I think Anderson's on his way in as well. Nicely out of the way from the V-carb though. I think that was Airways. And Oliver's invalidated. Harold's going again. And Airways is as well. Also hoping for the flag there for the end of Q2 as he's up in 5th position. Sorry Osso, but I think there's a lot of improvement here yet. Harold's already 4 seconds quicker at Sector 2. He'll pick a slipstream up off Lutman here as well. Sorry, Cavalis. Harold, an 18. 18.8. 5.5 second improvement, that. What's Airways got? He comes around the final corner. It's another big one. 18.6 Airways to the top. Rick on an outlap. Just about to start his. We've got Dan coming round through sector 2 now. No time on the board yet. As Osso says, he did his in lap in the green. Oh, Christ. That is brilliant. There we go, Dan. 17.7 P1. Luckman 18.6 P2. Dan will want the checkered flag now. It'll sound like Osso. We've got Cavalis next. Then it'll be back. Cavalis 17.4. Bark 17.5. Good lap from Bark. Next is Oliver starting a lap. Alpine into the pits. V-Carb into the pits. That's Airways and Harold. You got Rick coming round the final corner now. Rick a 16.3. Wow. Osso, come on. You P10 now. You're in that danger zone, mate. That danger position. Luckman into the pits. Dan into the pits. Rebel Athena just coming right final corner now to start a lap. Oliver 15.8. Half a second quicker than Rick. So track definitely improving. Tenner 3.5 seconds under at sector 1. Obviously he's only got his early time on the board. And as it stands, Osso's out. Come on, Osso. Still time. I think Osso's had enough green. He doesn't need any more. Tenner 17.2 puts himself P3. Anderson's just started a lap. Pink's just started a lap. Sammy's 6 seconds under at sector 2. This will put him in 17s. Oh, 16 flat. Sammy up to P2. I was just about to say, the question is Rick safe? And he's come back out. Just with the improvement there, that is insane. Who've we got next? That's Luckman on an outlap about to start one. Glock is on a lap. Fastest in Q1. Let's see what I can do now. Around the final corner. No time on the board yet, so we can't see a delta, but it's a 15.6. He goes to the top. You got Pink coming up to the line as well. Anderson, P5, 17.2. Pink, 16.6. Ooh, second off Glock's pace. Only P5 for Pink. Oh, I don't think he were burning though. He's got too much battery left. He sacrificed that for this one. Harold up to the line. He's starting a lap. What am I doing? Where's Dan? Dan's just starting a lap. Where's Lutman? Lutman, 16.5, goes P5. What's Pink got? He's going to be up there at that 15.6 based on that Sector 2 split. 15.2, P1 for Pink. 10er, 17 flat, P7. Airways, 16 flat, P4. What can Bark do? What can Barkman do? P6 to 61. Osso, P12. Osso. I was trying to go for Riker then, P11. He just jumped up then. The Alpine, Harold, Sammy. Dan's up. Rick's in P9 here. Lutman's in P10. Oh, Cavalis. P11. And Lutman didn't improve as well. That were closer at the end for them, but Pink setting the pace, losing Cavalis, Tenor, Anderson, Riker and Osso. As I said, Pink, P1, Glock, fastest in Q1, second in Q2. Oliver up there. Airways, Sammy, Dan, Bark, Harold, Rick. Rick's just making it through, but losing Cavalis, Tenor, Anderson, Riker and Osso. Here we go now. First Q3 session of the season. Lookman in his favourite car to get us going. The car he'll be driving twice a week for us. But we've got both Haas, both Alpines, and both V-Carbs through to Q3. So there's a good start for constructors. As Pink says, Lookman getting kicked was pure cinema. Yeah, I think that, I'll be honest, I think most of that reaction came from Dan being so anti-kick that nobody else wanted it, and it had to be Lookman that got it. I'll be perfectly honest, if I'd have got it, I wouldn't have minded. I don't mind the kick. I don't see the big issue with it. I quite like it as a car, to be fair. Like the design, like the colours. It's nice. $16,694 from Lookman. Oliver's just started a lap. Alpine of Harold, is it? Just started a lap. Rick, 15.5, straight off the bat. Airways coming up to the line. $16,100. It's got an annoying sound. I'll be honest, like a few seasons ago, a few games ago, the one I thought had the annoying sound was the Alpine. Like the sound was so different to every other car, and I hated it. But I've had it a few seasons now, and I enjoy it. Like I'm used to that sound. I think I had the kick for one season, and got used to it pretty quickly. I personally didn't think it was that bad. Also says it has a kick to it, in my opinion. Hey, Osso's here for a good time, not a long one. Oliver 15.3 up to the top. Harold 15.7. Sammy 16 flat. Tell you what, that Alpine team's looking fairly competitive. As we get Glock now, final corner. He was up there in Q1, up there in Q2, straight to the top in Q3, 15.1. Next is the Haas of Pink. See what Pink's got on his first run here in Q3. $14.8. Fuck off, Pink. Yeah, that's a positive, Kieran. You finished last. There's 3 points on offer. Point structure has changed this season. So instead of running the MotoGP point structure, which is 1st to 15th, we're now running the same as what we did in the F2 last season, which is points across the full grid. 25 for a win. Hold on, bear with me. Let me pull it up. As Dan says, 15.9 as well, goes P6. I'll pull point structure up so I don't make a mess of it. P1, 25 points. P2, 22 points. P3, 19 points. P4, 17. And then it's every position down then loses a point, all the way down to P20, scoring 1 point. So point structure is a little different this season, but it should make for closer racing. Also invented the green. Snoop came to see him in person. No one can smoke Super, but also Bossa was the only person that defeated him. And he did that when he was supposed to be racing on a Sunday, and that's why he was so slow. Also, as that laid back is horizontal. Yeah, exactly that, Kieran. Entire grid should be closer, having less of a gap for the bigger wins. For the big winners. You know, the guys who tend to be up there every week. Apologies, I dropped my phone then. Sounded like it was strenuous to talk, it wasn't. I was leaning for my phone. Sammy now starting a lap. Airways behind him on track. We'll stick on with Sammy, but keep an eye on Airways as well. So Q3, dry, but the belief is the race will start wet. Sammy 15.7. Airways looks quicker. It's not. 15.9. Workman is next down an out lap. And you've got guys coming out of the pits now. Let's see what Lutman can do now. His final run. Wet to dry race, so the possibilities of making up places are good. You won't capitalise, but it's there. Yeah, the wet to dry races always offer something different. You know, who's going to make that call when it matters? Like, there was a race last season, towards the end of last season, where Glock and JJ stayed out on the inters. Everybody else pitted, and everyone who pitted was slower for the inters. The lads who stayed out on the inters were quicker than the lads who'd pitted for dries. So it's about getting that crossover right. Luckman half a second up at sector 2. And at the time, I think Pink pitted from the lead, and when he came out and, Glock and JJ carried on theirs, on their run on the Inters, they ended up over 10 seconds ahead of him. And Luckman does improve by half a second, but it's not enough to improve out of P10. Sammy retired in the pits. Airways is in the pits as well, so that's him done. Harold is on a lap now, just coming to the end of sector 2, half a second up. That'll put him up to P3, if he can keep it up. It puts him up to P3, 15.2. Back, 15.8, puts him P7. Glock, 15 flat. Improved, but only slightly. Rick, next across the line. $15 flat, goes P3. You got Oliver next. 15.2. Pink, 14.5. Dan, invalidated. So there we go. Pole position for the first race of the season is Pink, picking up exactly where we left off at the end of last season. Taking that pole, Glock up. Glock, Rick, very close there. But yeah, half a second from Pink to Glock. It's a fairly big gap. Both the Alpines well placed there as well to make some good points up. Very close together, quite high up. But now is what matters. Strategy. Oh, it's very wet. It is very wet. So it's definitely a wet start. Be interesting to see what tyres everyone uses. I can see in Lando Norris's garage there, there's the blue marked wet weather tyres. Is it suggesting wets? Will people pick wets? Will they go for inters? This is the question. And how long is it going to stay wet for? I mean, this rain, this downpour looks quite heavy. But we saw in Q1, it did clear up fairly quickly. Also be interesting in terms of strategy, who's gone for a wet weather setup, a dry weather setup. Obviously we had Q1 which was wet, the race starts wet. Maybe a couple of people have opted for a higher down, well obviously it's Hungary, it's a high downforce track anyway, but maybe that little bit of extra ride height. We'll see. No, I don't, mate. I don't. It's I'm using a vape at the moment, so that's probably what's making me cough. Here we go now. Strategies are selected. Ooh, right, mixture in tyres. Oh, who was that then? Is that Osso who was on the grass? It's Osso, what's he doing? So, majority of people picking full wets. Glock, Tenor and Riker going for the inters. Now, personally, what I know about the game, I'd have gone inters. When the game suggests wets, the inters are normally quicker, and obviously if it's dry and the inters will go further, you'll make a lot more time up. Surprised to see Pink start on the wets, to be honest. And the likes of Rick, Oliver, a lot of these lads know the game. They know how it goes. It's... Oh, but the race strategies is saying it's wet all the way. Unless the weather forecast has changed. We do have it on approximate weather, so maybe the forecast has changed. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how Glock holds up. Glock obviously racing on controller as well. So tyre normally higher, but starting on the inters, they'll keep them cooler. Should be able to take them longer, but we'll see. Here we go, forming up on the grid. Glock, Dan, Luckman, all overshot the marks. Cavalis as well. Don't do it, also. Don't do it. You didn't. Surprised. And here we go, everyone's lined up and ready, 5 lights, and away we go. Pink seems to have a decent start, Glock has held his position, Sammy and Airways battling, Glock looking at a move then on Pink. Also down 2 places, gearing up 2, back down 2. Back down 3 now. Ooh, Sober in the background off track, that was Cavalis. Next inter runner, where is he? Tenor. P11 up 1 place. He's just been shunted there by Cavalis. And Riker as well. Riker down 2 places, starting on them inters. But Pink and Glock have pulled away from Rick. Ooh, Glock having a look there. Almost colliding with Pink. Jesus. You don't want to hang about. See what he does now. He's almost up the inside of him out of the final corner. And there you go, side by side, into turn 1. And Glock is up into P1. Let's see how Pink manages this now. However, Glock can pull away on them inters. Bocky has pitted. He's popped inters on. I'd say the inters are the better tyre. I'd say the inters are the better tyre. Looking at the gap between Pink and Glock, both, you know, similar battery, just a couple of % between them, and Glock's almost got Pink out of DRS. Now he has, out of that 1 second gap. I'd say the inters are the better tyre. Interesting, very interesting, but Tenner still only the 1 place he made off the start, and Riker still down the 2 that he lost off the start. And Glock now 1.7 ahead of Pink. Harold up 1, up past Oliver. Oliver seems to be struggling. He's 3.5 seconds behind Harold now. Pink's 2 seconds behind Glock. This track's still wet. It is still raining. Tenner's still only up the 1. Riker is up past Osso now. But Riker's lost a lot of time. Oh, down off track. They probably picked a warning up for that. Three seconds Glock's got now at the front. Doing extremely well on them inters. Tenner still not able to make places up. Also still out on the wets he started on. Riker's still on the inters. Kieran on the wets, but these guys are just losing time to everybody ahead now. Airways close to Oliver. And Glock fastest lap. Lutman's close to Dan as well. Is he going to go for a move? Airways isn't able to on Oliver. I think Tenner is close. Osso's in the pits. Tenner's close to making a move on back, but not close enough. What is Osso doing? Is he going for inters? Has he got wing damage? Riker's up past Kieran, so Riker's back to where he started, but he's lost 5 seconds to the rest of the pack. Osso's popping Inters on. Glock fastest lap again. It's 5.6 seconds now. Glock is looking in control. Inter's definitely the tyre to start on. Definitely. Glock has called that right. The question is now whether it does dry up and when it dries up. The rest of the field seem to just be following each other around, so there's not much to commentate on at the moment. Excuse me. Hiccups though. Seven and a half seconds now at the front. Glock fastest lap again. Luckman still all over the back of Dan, but not able to capitalise and get that position off him. Kieran in the pits. Has he gone for the inters? He has. Makes me think it's not going to be drying soon because he'd rather stay out on the wets, not lose the pit stop time as well as the time to pit again. So that makes me think it is staying wet a lot longer than they expected. I see some yellow fuel lights as well. Rick. Oh, Pink's in the pits. Is Pink going for the inters? He has to be. There's no other tyre he can put on. It's the inters, yeah. So Glock, who already had 10 seconds on Pink, now has a pit stop over him as well. I know obviously Pink's on newer tyres, so he will close that down, but it's a brilliant strategy from Glock there. The only one who went different at that front end, and you know, he's got a 12-second lead now for it. Tenor, who started on Inters is up 5 places. Lutman has pitted, Dan has pitted, Anderson's pitted. So Tenner's now up 5 places. He started on the Inters as well. And he's got Pink ahead of him on track. And you see Glock just pulling away from Rick every sector. Every time the time changes, it goes up. It was 11.9 when Pink came out of the pits. It's now 13.5, so it is just going up. Glock fast this lap again. I just obviously knowing the look he's had on controller last season, high tyre wear and stuff like that, I hope he's just not burning them tyres out. As Pink's up past Sammy into the pits now. Lads are pitting now for Inters. Riker now. The Inters he started on have now got him up 7 places. Tenner is up 8 places. Harold, who is on fresh Inters now, so I don't expect to see Harold fighting him. But yeah, what we're talking about before the yellow fuel light is Rick with a yellow fuel light. Harold, sorry. Oliver, Erways. And it's not easy in the wet to save fuel like you think it would be. You actually burn more fuel on this game in the wet, which is quite interesting. And Rick now pits. So I think we're going to see Glock here with a 30-second lead. Pink fastest lap of the race. Let's see what the interval is. 29.7. Oh, it's Harold making a move up the inside of Tenner. The fresher tyres there helping him. And that's it. I'd expect to see that gap from Glock to Pink come down now as Pink's on fresh tyres. Barks pitted as well. So Lutman's ended up, I don't know if the move was done in the pits, but Lutman's now ahead of Dan and they've got Sammy between them. So I think Dan's had a bit of a murder since the pit stop. It might have happened before the pit stop, I might have missed it. Glock fast this lap. So there's still life in them tyres yet. And that gap between Pink and Glock is not coming down, it's going up. It's going up, it's over 30 seconds now. I apologise, guys. Comms hasn't been great. There's not a lot to talk about. The only one within a second now is Oliver and Dan. On the back of Riker and Sammy, respectively. Riker and Tenor both on the inters they started on, and Glock on the inters he started on as well, but they were definitely the right choice. Oliver on the back of Riker now as well. Glock fastest lap again. He's still not losing time. Like, I'm looking at Oliver catching Riker thinking, oh, maybe them inters he started on are going, but Glock still manages to put the fastest lap in. So, there's still life in them. But Oliver's all over the back of Riker now. Oliver still unable to get past Riker. Seems like the conditions and setups, etc. This track that's normally difficult to overtake on anyway is just making it a snooze fest. Nobody able to make any sort of overtake. Glock's holding that 30-second plus gap to Pink, even on old tyres. Track's still raining, still wet, doesn't look like it's going to dry, and the only two people within a second of a car ahead are Oliver, who's just overtaken Riker, somewhere where I didn't expect to see an overtake, which was through the S's, and Airways through as well. Riker moves out of the way of Airways. Riker's trying to have a look back at Oliver. He's not sitting back. And Riker's now dropping back over a second now. Lutman's on the back of Riker. Airways managed to get past Oliver as well in all that. Lutman on the back. Riker and Tenor and Glock started on inters. They're still on the tyres they started on. Everyone else started on the wets and pitted for inters. Have a look at the tyres now so you can see the tyre life. Luckman, 7 lap fresher tyres than Riker ahead. Tenner has got 8 lap older tyres than Airways behind. Glock's got 7 lap older tyres than Pink, but he's still pulling away. I'll be honest, I think... No, I'm not going to say it. We'll wait. Luckman all over the back of Riker. No battery though. No battery whatsoever. So Riker will be able to defend this position into turn 1. Track conditions still raining, still wet, so it doesn't look like it's going to dry anytime soon, if I'm honest. Look, we might have picked a warning up for that there, running wide out of turn 4, 5. 6, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Oliver is back within a second of Airways, or he was briefly. Luckman's pushing Riker around the track. That's it, Riker's got loads of battery here. Luckman's not got enough to make a move. Luckman needs to just sit back and recharge his battery a bit. Whether he's behind him for a lap or so, he's on fresher tyres, he doesn't need to try and force it. Just recharge that battery and then launch an attack with full battery. Because at the moment he's getting to the end of the lap and he's no battery to make the move. There you go, he's pushed it too much. 3-second penalty. First penalty of the night. First penalty of the season here in Tier 1. Is King Luckman in his favourite car. And all this chasing Riker has now cost him over 6 seconds to Oliver ahead. And he's got Sammy and Dan right behind him now within a second as well. As Glock still holds Pink over 31 seconds ahead, so... What a strange race. And we're at the halfway point as well. Pink fastest lap now, he's pulled in over half a second to Glock. Airways now catching tenor within a second. Pink's pulled a couple of seconds into Glock now, 2 seconds over the last lap or so. Yeah, Pink's still closing that gap another second, 28 seconds now. Anderson has gone for hard. Has it stopped raining? It's still raining. Still raining. And Anderson's boxed for hard. I feel like that is a massive mistake. Airways has pitted. 11 laps he's done on them inters. He can't be going for dries, surely. No, another set of inters. But we've got Riker, Tenor and Glock who've all done 19 laps. They started the race on them inters and they're still going. And this race has sort of hit a dead zone. It's so... yeah, nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. Pink's closed in further. Whether that is just the tyre life now a Glock. Surely he is going to have to pit and change him at least once, unless he's expecting it to dry and that's why he's trying to hang it out and stay out. But it's still raining. It looks like it's raining just as much as it was at the start of the race. Anderson's also got a penalty now. All now within a second of Tenor. Lutman still chasing Riker down. 7 lap fresher tyres and still can't get the move done. Lookman briefly passed, but Riker fighting him back. Lookman trying to hold the inside, but Riker's got the inside for turn 3. Turn 2, whatever you want to call it. And that's it, Lookman's stuck behind, and Sammy, Dan, Airways are all stuck in the back of this. Airways on much fresher tyres than everyone here, but he's not going to be able to get past at this rate. There's too many cars too close together. Gap at the front down to 22.5 seconds now, so Pink's took 9 seconds out of that over the last however laps. Although we're still struggling behind, 10 are on 7 lap fresher tyres. I don't know whether the lads who started are trying to go to the end on these, but it just seems daft to do so. Unless they're expecting it to dry, but it's still raining. It is looking a little bit brighter maybe, but it's still raining. $11 laps to go. Yeah, also with a penalty. It's always also. And Lookman pits. Put a set of hards on. It's not stopped raining, is it? Oh, it has. It's just stopped raining. 10 has 3 seconds. It's just stopped raining. Is it going to dry up quickly though? That is the question. Now Anderson pitted again off the hards to put the inters back on. Let's keep an eye on Lookman. He's 2.1 behind Kieran. Oh, we'll see what he is to lead. I don't know. Do we see leader? Or do we just keep an eye on that gap to Kieran? It's gone up by 6 tenths already. Glock's in. And it's dry tyres, it's mediums. Pink's followed him in as well. If he goes dries as well, then Glock's just played an absolute masterclass. Rick, fastest lap, and stares out on the inters. Pink's put hards on, yeah, so Pink's gone... Sorry, Pink's gone for dries now, so Glock is just going to hold that lead. Oh, Rick is right on the back of Glock though, and Rick is still on the inters. Glock's sliding about on the mediums. But is it going to stay? Oh, slippy enough for the next 9 laps for Rick to win. Oh, he's pulling a big gap now though. As Glock pitted too early. Stayed out long enough last season. He was the one I used as an example. He stayed out long enough on the inters and pitted at the right time, and this time it looks like he's pitted a bit too early. And if he's struggling, Pink's going to be struggling as well on the harder tyres. And Rick's already pulled 5 seconds out on Glock with 9 laps to go. But everyone's reacting to everyone pitting and not what they're feeling. Everyone's seeing everyone else pit, putting dry tyres on, going, right, I've got to pit. And it's not working. Glock's coming down the straight, trying to warm the tyres up. Oh, what a race. What a race. So Lutman is still 2.3 behind Kieran. And that gap was at 2.1 when he came out of the pits, and I said we'll keep an eye on it. So it's not dry tyres yet. Oliver's just pitted for dries. Anderson went back onto the hards, or onto a fresh set of hards. It's not dry enough yet. Glock's lost 9 seconds to Rick. Pink's lost about 4 seconds to Harold since he came out the pits. Kieran's got a 10-second penalty speeding in the pit lane. Rick, fastest lap of the race. It's still into us. Harold, fastest lap. Oh, 7 laps left. Can they hold on to this? Harold, I'd love to see Harold on the podium, to be fair. He deserves it. But it's a lot of laps left. If it's drying up, Woodman, fastest lap now on the hards. Right, so it has changed. It has changed. Glock, fastest lap on the mediums. Rick pits, Harold pits. Did they build up a big enough gap? Where's Pink? Just coming out the final corner now. Is Rick going to stay ahead of him? I think he is. Rick is. So Rick is still ahead of Pink, now on fresher, faster tyres. And Harold's got a massive gap behind him to Oliver. 50-second gap. So Harold's got a comfortable P4 there. Anderson fastest lap on the hards there, down in P17. Yeah, I agree, Patrick. Looks like the mediums are the tyre to be on. There's not enough laps really to benefit the hards. But that is a mega overcut by Rick, on Pink to take that P2, staying out on the Inter so much longer. Yellow flag in sector 3, but that's gone now. Pink, fastest lap of the race. Just on board with this Cavalis Airways and Sammy fight for P8. Have a quick look at the penalties. You've got Tenor in P6 with a 3-second penalty, but that won't affect him. Dan's not close enough. Wootman with 6 seconds of penalties, but Riker's not close enough. Kieran's got 13. Osso's got 3. So Osso will gain a position at the moment. And that is it. Anderson with 6 seconds, but he's at the back, so no one will benefit from that. And Kieran picks up another 3 seconds. Dan with the fastest lap. Way, world's gone mad. Rick fastest lap. But the race now is looking, yeah, pretty much done. It's looking comfortable as it is. Gap's not changing much. Yellow flag there, Ferrari. I think that was Anderson moving out the way, letting his teammate through. Lutman another 3-second penalty. Anderson 10-second penalty speeding in the pit lane. Anderson's pit and quit with 4 laps left. Jeez, pointless. Pink with the fastest lap. Sammy, still the closest battle on track. Sammy with DRS of Airways, but not able to make a move. Have a look what the tyre difference is. Sammy 1 lap older tyres. But yeah, not able to make any sort of move or get anywhere close to Airways into that braking zone. Still the only close battle on track. 6/10. Glock just controlling that lead at the front now. Just where is he now? Glock's just coming up to sector 3. He's lapped. I think he's lapped all the way up to Luckman. He's behind Luckman on track. Glock has just crossed the line now to start the final lap. Glock is absolutely flying, and it is strategy masterclass. Starting on them inters so far up the track. Oh, we've got a car off. Who is it? It is Bark. No, come on, Bark. You're part of the Williams team, mate. Don't do this to me. He's got wing damage. As Rick goes through, I think that's Riker. Oh, Airways! Airways is out! No, he was having such a good race. Sammy's got no damage, so I don't know whether there's been any contact there or anything, but Airways out of the race, but Glock round the final corner. There we go, look at that weaving. Glock takes the win by 5 seconds to Rick, and then Pink's over 5 seconds back. Rick with I've got to say, an absolutely brilliant overcut. Staying out on them inters while everyone were pitting for the dry tyres. Stayed out long enough and pitting at the right time. Great job from him. Harold as well, to be fair. Great job taking that P4. And I've got to say, very comfortable P4. 37 seconds back to Oliver is unbelievable. That's insane. Patrick saying mega race. I probably won't go that far. It's a difficult one, Hungary, especially when it's wet as well. There's not much overtaking. It is strategy dependent, and yeah, one man who got the strategy right is that man on that top step of the podium there, Glock, starting on the inters while the majority of the field went for the wets. And he stared out, he dragged them out so long, pulling that gap to Pink. He had it at 32 seconds. I think it briefly hit 33, but around 32 seconds, it's best. He kept it there for a long time. And then, that gap started tumbling, and that's when the pit stop started happening. But yeah, dragged them inters out until it was dry. So absolutely brilliant job there from Glock. Tenner did the same. Started 12th, finished 6th, so up 6 places from him. Riker started 14th, finished 11th, so same from him as well. They're the only 3 that one stopped. I'll just fire invites out now for our podium sitters. So fire invites now to Glock, Rick, and Pink. Invites are sent to the podium, lads. I'll be back in just a second. Hello.
Hello.
Just me and you, no one else joining.
Apparently not, no.
That's a bit disappointing. Well, I'll tell you what, you're here, so we'll just start with you, mate. Yeah, I'll be honest, not quite the pace I expected from you in quali based on last season, but you were up there nonetheless. You know, P3 still a good qualifying result. Then obviously race starting wet throws yeah throws a spanner in the works. Strategy goes up in the air a little bit. You and the majority of the field, to be fair, opted for the wet tyres. What was you thinking from quali and then going to the start of the race?
Um, well, first of all, to comment on the quali pace, well, first of all, it didn't happen, or it didn't help that I had a wet setup equipped, so.
Right, right.
And second of all, I hate this track, so I'm not great at it.
I agree with you.
Um,
It's not. I'm not a fan of this one at all.
so to even, I mean, to even qualify P3, I was really happy with it. So, yeah, and going into the race, I mean, the strategy said, you know, it was full wet, and the icons, the weather icons, also said heavy rain. So I was like, yeah, okay, well, I trust your judgment. I guess we're starting on the full wets, and then Glock started on the inters, and he just sailed off into the distance. And I asked my engineer, and he said that inters were the best tire to be on. So I was like, dude, you couldn't have told me before.
Yeah,
But
it's a known bug on this game. I know it myself just from watching, you know, like the creator series and stuff, the YouTube creators who race. That when it suggests wets, the inters are faster, which is
right,
stupid. It's so stupid. But yeah, I was quite surprised that I thought maybe more people had run inters based on that sort of bit of knowledge from it, and there was only
well, I didn't know.
there was only three people on the grid, Glock, and then the other two were in the bottom, the bottom five or bottom six. So it didn't really, yeah, it didn't happen like I thought it had happened. Glock got past Pink and then just pulled away, whereas the other two were still struggling. They were still stuck behind people. So I couldn't tell whether the Inters were quicker or whether just Glock had this pace out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just difficult to judge, I guess. But I mean, the wets didn't feel bad. It's just that I guess the Entos just had much more grip.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He didn't.
obviously
That's it.
that
He
means
didn't
they're
look to
quicker.
be struggling. Grip wise, he didn't. He didn't look to be having any slides or any moments where he had to be cautious on throttle or anything. He looked completely comfortable from the start.
Yeah, that's what I felt when I changed over to the Entos as well. Just the difference is so big in terms of grip. So um, yeah,
So original, like what I was told, off Pink during quali was it was supposed to be wet for like the first 10 laps or so, and then obviously the rain lasted a lot longer, a lot longer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, obviously it takes quite some time sometimes to for the track to dry out. So yeah, the rain stopped, but the track was still wet, and we've had
Yeah,
that issue
yeah,
quite a
yeah.
few times already. So
Well, I remember I mentioned it in comms, a race towards the end of last season
mhm.
where like yourself and Pink, everyone pitted for dry tyres, but it was still too wet, and the lads who stayed out on inters made up a load of positions, and
I think
it,
that was Zandvoort.
I know I remembered it was towards the end of the season, but I couldn't
Yeah,
remember what track it was. But I remember
I
Glock and JJ were the two that stayed out on inters, and they just jumped right up the field.
I had exactly the same thought. I was like, all right, I don't want to end up in that same situation. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try different and just stay out, and it helped.
Well,
It
that's
got
it.
me
When
ahead of
when
Pink. So
you can feel how the track is, and you know whether it's right for dries or not. And I think everyone reacted to like the DRS enabled and other people pitting for dries. I think everyone reacted to everyone else instead of just on what they can feel with their own car.
no, I was different. I was just feeling with my own car. I was like, all
Yeah,
right, it's
yeah, yeah.
still very slippery. So nope, no boxing. The lap after, nope, no boxing. And then when I saw Glock closing in again, I was like, all right, this is the lap to pit. And almost as I came into the pits, that message from the DRS came up. So or something like that on that lap at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's
So
it.
it
You know,
that
when
that
when you came out of the pits, sorry, when Glock came out of the pits, I think he was like 2-3 seconds behind you, and then
mhm,
the gap just went up, 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 all the way
yep,
through the laps, and I was like, it's too early again. The same things happened.
yeah, exactly. I wanted to do it different, and it helped me. Uh, I gained a position, and eventually, when we got to the dries, it just I don't know. Somehow I had very good pace, closed in on Glock by quite a bit actually. So
Yeah, he did
managed
a
to
great job, mate.
managed to keep about the same pace as Pink, so he didn't close up on me. So yeah,
Y-
I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, obviously, I didn't realize it was a track you didn't enjoy, so you know,
I hate it.
qualify
this this
qualifying P3 with a wet setup.
yeah
A race that was, you know, obviously it was wet for the majority, and then you've managed that overcut on Pink, staying on the inters longer, got that overcut onto the dries, and taking P2, mate, is a great result. Brilliant way to start the season.
yeah no I'm really happy with it,
Good.
especially just again on a track I hate. So
No, I'm
yeah,
glad to hear you're happy with that one, mate. It was not the most exciting race
no
from a
I
comms
can
point of
imagine.
view.
I can imagine.
Yeah, probably one of my more quiet ones. Not a exciting way to start the season, but you know, it was entertaining, especially the strategy aspect of it is the key here. So yeah, thank you for that, mate. Great race, well done, and I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season. I hope you take that title off Pink this season.
Well, I'm gonna do my best.
Good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. It looks like Glock's up there as well, so maybe you've got another person to fight with.
I had that in the back of my mind. Glock is gonna be there this season. Now Bobo isn't here, Glock is gonna step up.
Yeah, he's got his feet under the table now. He's comfortable.
Yep. Oh well.
No, but great job. Thanks everyone who's tuned in. Join us Sunday night. We'll be racing here Tier 3 at Hungary. And then it'll be next Friday, 8:30, as usual, we'll be racing Baku. We'll see you then.